Welcome to Be Matrielle. This is my third attempt to record this in the last 5 minutes. I'm not editing, I'm not stopping. The first time there was an extraordinary sound in the background from a human being that I don't normally hear. I think something is trying to throw me off. The second time the phone just slipped. I was going to keep recording. It slipped again and you would have just seen the ceiling. Anyway, no matter. I should just go straight into it. So, Be Matrielle is what? Let's begin with where it all started. I had a dream. Yeah, and not to paraphrase Martin Luther King at all, but legit, I had a dream, and I couldn't even do it justice if I tried to frame it like him. His is a whole another level. However, though, this actually is the beginnings of a movement, I trust. So it's ironic that that statement came to mind. Maybe I'm picking up something in real time there, a source of further inspiration. Listen to my dream. It's worth listening to, especially if you're a woman and you are maybe 40 plus. You need to listen to this. It's so important. My grandparents had lived in the same house for at least 40 years of my life, or their lives. This is not even, let me just start over. Yeah, and trying to give you the context for this. I'm 50 true, as I'm calling myself. I was 52 yesterday. I'll explain 50 true later. And growing up, from the day I was born until maybe I was around 38, my grandparents lived in the same house. So this is important because I was at their house in the dream. There wasn't a sense of my grandfather or any of my uncles or male cousins. There was just a sense of the women in my family being around. I couldn't see anyone, but I had been in the living room, what we might call a front room in Jamaica, and I decided to go upstairs. I can only surmise I would have been going to the toilet, or restroom as some might call it. So when I got upstairs, picture a landing that you've known your whole life. And by landing, I don't know if this term translates because I travel so much, I'm conscious some terms are different. So picture a long hallway, but upstairs. We normally say hallway for downstairs, with doors that you're familiar with because it's your family's home, your grandparents' home. However, I see a door that I've never seen before, and I'm perplexed because I've been going to this place for like 38 years. Why would a door suddenly appear? And it doesn't look new or shiny, it just fits in with the rest of the house. So I go up to the door and I push it open. And when I open it, there's this grand suite, I would have to call it. I was in shock because my grandmother is a very, not humble as in meek, but humble as in not flash, not ostentatious at all, not really posh, would have the equivalent of a Sunday best for church. However, in this grand suite, it was very glamorous, but not in an over-the-top way, in a very beautiful, feminine, but restrained way. So, for example, maybe if downstairs there were cloth sofas and settees with plastic on for protection from the family, the rigors of life, in this grand suite there were plush velvet-like chairs with no covers on, beautiful rugs, gorgeous furniture, shiny, decadent, almost like a boudoir in the 1930s, reminiscent of that, which would make sense because she's born in the 30s actually. And as I walked around, feeling comfortable to walk around, there was no one else there. I was thinking, wow, this is beautiful, but why didn't I know that she had this room? it's not looking new, it's got this sense of it's used, it's lived in, but why didn't she ever share this with me? So I can smell beautiful perfume, and I'm saying, oh, I would love to have somewhere like this. And then a sense of indignance comes in as I get the awareness in my dreamlike states that actually my mom and my 3 aunts have all been in this room. How comes they've all been in this room and I have not? No, that's not fair, because I'm close to everybody and they could have let me know about it. How could they keep me out of this? And as I walked around with that admiration and indignance at the same time, as I was closing the door, I realized why I'd not been in that room before, and that I didn't need to want the room, because as I woke up, I realized that I'm there. I'm now in that room. I'm a grown woman. Grown, matriarch vibes. So at the time of this dream was early this year, 2025. I was actually 51 years old. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is it. And I at the time, I called it the mansion mindset. Like, it's not something that you desire. It's there for you. It's a consciousness, but you have to step into it. So, I get tickles as I say it, because it's so real. Like, when you're a woman who wants to operate as a woman, not as a female who's older, that's been shaped and constructed by society. But if you perhaps was the girl growing up that saw women and knew when you were older you were going to be like that woman and that woman, but your own version of her, you may have admired her elegance, you may have admired her cooking, her poise, her wisdom, her everything about her just her beingness, you're likely to have not the same dream, but there's going to come a point where there's an acute, stark stop moment where you're like, I'm there, and I am so there. I can tell you more about being there. I live now in my true matriarchal mansion mindset, very entitled. And what that really looks like is not accepting societal constructs like, oh, you're old, oh, you're in your 50s or even in your 40s. It begins this campaign of you need this special cream now because you've got crocodile skin now. You need this hair stuff because you're not as pretty, you're not as good as looking, your hair's not as nice as the younger ones. Use this hair stuff, what we use in funeral parlors for embalming people and to keep them from decaying. They almost put you on that level, like you're done. No, we're not done. We're just beginning. As solid things set, as it would be said in Jamaica. I spend a lot of time overseas, so I'm here as an ambassador of the Matrielle living, Matrielle life, be Matrielle. It's so important because I feel that I can appoint myself as this person on these facts. If you were to speak to my husband and even my son, no matter what country I'm in. So for example, I was in 20 countries alone within the last 12 months. And by the end of this year, I would have been in 24 countries. And this is not just a one-off, like I travel all the time. We'll talk about that more, but the point being is not to brag, it's to say, no matter what land I'm on, continent, country, no matter what the culture is, no matter what the beauty standard is, I stand out. People think they're stopping me because of how I look. And don't get me wrong, I'm intentional about looking good, but not fanatical. But the intention for me is set different than a lot of women, and that's what I love when I get the opportunity to share, and that I'm sharing more broadly now. My first intention is beauty inside. And what is beauty inside? And don't be scared of this word. Those of you of faith, like myself, you can sometimes misconstrue it, but you've got to be smart. Don't just panic when you hear certain words. Again, be matriarchal, be mindful that you're not just indoctrinated. It's beauty energy. Energy. Yes, I said energy. For those of you that are not people of faith, that will just go over your heads. It's nothing, but for people of faith, you sometimes align it with sorcery. The whole damn world consists and is because of energy, atoms, combustion. You know, that's just what it is. It's physics, it's biology, it's life, it's plants, it's animals, it's people. So don't have any kind of hysteria over the word energy. If energy is bothering you, you need to work part-time and study science part-time. Get back comfortable with energy so that we can have a grown conversation. So I continue. I didn't want to labor that point, but it just kind of irks me when people go, oh, you said energy. Oh, you said illumination. Of course, because these are natural events. Illumination is the sun, illumination is the moon, illumination is lights. Crystals, yes. In quartz, watches, yes. In hospital equipment, yes. Under pebbles, under earth, under soil. Let's be sensible. Okay, I continue. So the whole point is that beauty energy is what? It's celestial. It's sacred. I don't decide how that emanates, but I understand that if I be beautiful inside, which means pointing my head to the Creator first, in my own words, not the right word, there's proper words, but they tell us so many, in faith, so I just say God to make it easier, by pointing your head to God first, and being at the tip of the day with the crystal in your eyes, bleary, struggling to opening them, an immediate awareness that I am alive, I'm blessed, I'm anointed. Thank you, I appreciate this life. That's the first key of Beauty 101. Second is just that awareness that I'm not saying, hey, I need so many kilos of air today to breathe. The air is a gift, because if you don't have it, you're dead. Okay? So, grateful for the provision that I don't even ask for. Be grateful for the exquisite happenings inside of yourself, this orchestra of, again, that the atoms, the combustion, the renewal overnight, the electricity, all of the stuff that you're not actually controlling, all happening for you to not get up now and start whinging and whining or worrying about the day, or going to get glue to stick on your eyes to damage your eyelids and go and look like a girly car wash thing going around trying to clean the house like that, thinking you look pretty. No. You look in the mirror, appreciate yourself, and take care of your body. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not ritualistic for me. I wish it was, but there is an autopilot essence to it that you cultivate, and it becomes normal to wash your face and go and get a good drink. You don't spike your body with sugar, like hot drinks with 2 and 3 sugars and stuff, and expect your body to be cool with that. Drink some water with lemon, a good herbal tea, or a good quality tea, omit the tea bag. If you're going to have coffee, preferably a green coffee bean, you're going to say it's not so nice, or a good pure coffee that's not been sprayed, with a good provenance. All these things aim for good provenance. It's all part of the inner beauty, but there's other things, of course, like prayer, meditation, but you should know this. If you don't, we'll deal with that another day. And then the awareness that I do no harm as I step out of my home My interactions with others must not be harmful. I must be aware of myself, conscious, look out to meet other people's needs. This is true beauty, when you think of God first, your temple, and others. And then the bonus is you get naturally your heart's desires if they're truly aligned with God, and you are blessed with what you want. And again, don't be frightened, but you magnetize it, because we're electrical. God created us to be electrical beings, and there have been scientific studies that our hearts give off electricity more even than the brain. We know the brain's fully electrical. And I won't go too deep into it today, but for those of you that are wise and not scaredy cats, because forgive me, I would really struggle to deal with you anyway. Wise women, we take time to study not just the latest beauty brand, what's trendy. We don't do that anyway at our age. We just want what's good, we want quality, but we are learned in life, we accrue wisdom and much more, but they're the beginnings. So let's learn some good stuff together. Don't follow me, grow with me. But I just wanted to see how Matrielle has begun. And it was my birthday yesterday, so I was meant to record this yesterday. I'll share why I didn't in another podcast. So how many minutes is this? Just over 16. Okay. It feels like a good time to stop. I'm learning. I was thinking, do you do like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes? Let's leave this like this. Oh my goodness. Again, it's good though, because it shows it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm Caroline. I have this gorgeous concept that has come to life recently off YouTube called Matrielle and Matrielle Living. Still got to learn to try and look there. And we've been just testing it out, meeting up with a few close ladies for something else called, it's a secret that if you go deeper you'll find out. And it's been lovely. But really, what is Matrielle in essence? It's the beauty of maturity. It's womanliness and loveliness. Sometimes men can hop on for a short ride on the Matrielle train, but you've got to get off at certain stations, because as a woman, I don't believe I should be leading you. That would be above my station. Didn't intend to use that word again. The Most High would want a man to lead you, but you can get some wisdom from me. But that's part of the problem. There are too many women leading men, emasculating them, and not understanding their gift of femininity and casting it aside for what society tells them they should be. And a lot of women are operating as beautiful men in their consciousness, not in their sexual orientation. And I was one of them, and I'm going to tell you more about that. I think that would be a great next podcast for you, actually. So I'm going to end it now, and I really appreciate your time in watching this. I need encouragement, so no cattiness in the comments. Mommy always said, if you don't have anything good to say about someone, don't say it. You know this. So I would appreciate the standard things. Give it a tick, and give me feedback, but again, nothing nasty, because it will all come back to you. I'll be safeguarding myself, shielding myself. But truly, what we give out in life is what we get back. So be very mindful of what you say, what you do, even what you think, because you can't get away with it even if you didn't speak it. The brain is powerful and the mind is actually external. So when you're thinking things, it's not inside hidden, it's out there. And I'm going to leave you with this. The body is in the mind. The mind is not in the body. I hope just that statement alone will be profound for you and be the beginnings of a shift in how you think and how you even protect your mind. It's not in there, it's out here. So with love and grace and gratitude, Goodbye for now, and I look forward to sitting with you again. Love, love, love. Ciao.